Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishvari Vrishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Paditanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, translation by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki. So, Canto 6, Chapter, what is it? 3. Text number 6. Chapter entitled, Yamaraj Instructs His Messengers. Please repeat. Kintu Shastre Bahutve Syad Bahunam Iha Kaminam Shastritvam Upacharaho He excuse me, Yata Mandala Vatinam Kintu Shastre Bahutve Syad Bahunam Ihakaminam Shastritvam Upacharohi Yatha Mandala Vatinam Kintu Shastre Bahutve Syad Bahuna Ihakarminam Shastritvam Upacharohi Yatha Mandala Vatinam Kintu Shastre Bahutve Syad Bahunam Ihakamanam Shastritvam Upacharohi Yatha Mandala Vatinam Vaishnavis. Uchechad. Thank you. Okay. So, word for word, please repeat. Kintu, but, Shastri, of governors or judges. Bahutve, in the plurality. Syat, there may be. Bahunam, of many. Iha, in this world. Karminam, persons performing actions. Shastritvam, departmental management. Upacharaha, administration. He, indeed. Yatha, just like. Mandalavaninam, of the departmental heads. Translation, Srila Prabhupada. The Yamadutas continued, since there are many different karmis or workers, there may be different judges or rulers to give them justice. But just as one central emperor controls different departmental rulers, there must be one supreme controller to guide all the judges. Please repeat. The Yamadutas continued. Since there are many different karmis or workers, there may be different judges or rulers to give them justice. But just as one central emperor controls different departmental rulers, there must be one supreme controller to guide all the judges. Purport Srila Prabhupada. In the governmental management, there may be departmental officials to give justice to different persons, but the law must be one. And that central law must control everyone. The Yamadutas could not imagine that two judges would give two different verdicts in the same case, and therefore they wanted to know who the central judge is. The Yamadutas were certain that Ajamil was a most sinful man, but although Yamaraj wanted to punish him, the Vishnu Dutas excused him. This was a puzzling situation that the Yamadutas wanted Yamaraj to clarify. Makam karochi vachalam pangam laite girim yad kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurun dinatharinam kintu shastre bahutve syat bahunam iha karmanam shastri tvam upacharo hi yatha mandala vatinam. The Yamadutas continued. Translation. Since there are many different karmis or workers, there may be different judges or rulers to give them justice. But just as one central emperor controls different departmental rulers, there must be one supreme controller to guide all the judges. So, our job is to save people from the Yamadutas. That is our duty. Here the Yamadutas are thinking, there is no central ruler. There are only Yamaraj. He is the central ruler. So how come two different judgments happen in the same case? So the materially conditioned, particularly those that are grossly sinful, are subject to judgment by Yamaraj. And we all are meant to be the Vishnu Dutas. Duta means messenger of Vishnu. Yamaduta means messenger of Yama, Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. So, everyone, particularly in Kali Yuga, is bound by passion and ignorance. And practically speaking, if you are in these modes, you are practically forced to be grossly sinful and thereby go to hell via the judgment of Yamaraj. So, somehow or other, we have been given the chance to be free of the judgment of Yamaraj. And by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the 6 Goswamis, all the great acharyas, and the Supreme Lord Himself, we know the way that people can be freed from the judgment or having to take the judgment of Yamaraj and meet his dutas, his messengers that are taking people to his judgment for being grossly sinful. So, having been given that liberation from Yamaraj, our duty is to liberate other people from that judgment by giving them the same knowledge. This is particularly, Mahaprabhu mentions, Bharati Bhumi, that if you have taken birth in India, then that is your duty, to make your life perfect. And then give the Gauravani to the world. That does not mean that only the persons born in India should do so, but they have a particular duty given by the Supreme Lord Himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahyanya. So, you may be getting one order from the Supreme Lord, imperative. You're born in this country, now you must make your life perfect and become a Vishnu Duta. If that gives you a great burden, a great duty that is sitting on all the people of India, ordered by the Supreme Lord Himself. Now, if you refuse that order and you try, instead of spiritual development, personal and the country, and rather you become Naradama and try for technological development, material development, economic development, then you will never be successful, because you are refusing a direct order of the Supreme Lord Himself. So, This is a thought we should carry very deeply. Not just Indian people, as we say, but everyone who has been touched by Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara. We all have this duty on our shoulder to somehow or other, Yaridaka, Tarika. What is the sloka? Wherever you go, whomever you meet, you tell them the science of Krishna consciousness. On this way, Amara Agya Guru Thara. In this way, become a guru and liberate everyone in the world. So that actually is for the whole world, for everyone who has become a devotee of Srila Prabhupada, who has approached his lotus feet and understood the Siddhanta he gives. That is your duty. If you want to become Naradama and refuse that duty, then you become the lowest of mankind. If you fall away from the path of Krishna consciousness and think that instead I will enjoy material energy by material formula, then you will only find unhappiness. And that unhappiness will be the grace of the Lord. At the beginning of the Bhagavatam, it is explained that the devotee who understandably in the neophyte condition has problems, he may struggle away from Krishna and think, I can't handle it. The regulative principles, the holy name, going to Mangalarti, the temple president. I can't take it anymore. So then he'll only find that he's left an ocean of nectar and wandering in the desert. And that is Krishna's mercy, that you will leave the desert driven by your desire for rasa, for nectar. Every soul, fundamentally, wants to love and be loved. You will never find that in the material world. You will only find prostitute. You will only find suffering. You will only find rakshasa, man-eater, bloodsucker. You will not find any oasis in the material world of material enjoyment, particularly in Kali Yuga. You can see that Kali Yuga is the most condemned age, but at the same time, it is the greatest age. Kile dosha nide rajan asti eka mahad gunan. Kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajat. That Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Everywhere there is degraded behavior. Everywhere slaughterhouse education. People are taken from their families and put into slaughterhouse where they're trained. Everything came from nothing. How ridiculous. Nothing does not exist in the first place. How did it come from nothing? Well, nothing exploded. Well, how can nothing explode if it's not there in the first place? Right? Nothing means no thing, non-existence. But the foolish, rascal, material scientists think that something will come from nothing, that nothing is something that can explode. Is there anything more stupid? Even a child, if you say, go to the shop, buy some toffees. Mummy, I've got nothing in my pocket. Don't worry, everything comes from nothing. Tell the shopkeeper. Even a 5-year-old will understand. What's that? Are you playing with me, mother? Give me a coin, a rupee or two. No, son, beg it in the street. So, there is by definition no such thing as nothing. There is only existence. There is only existence. Try to understand this. Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Sri Guru Parampara, Radha Krishna, Lalit Vishaka, Krishna Balaram, Shalagram Maharaj, Tulsi Maharani, Gomata, Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. There is only existence. The counterpoint of existence is not non-existence because it doesn't exist by definition. The counterpoint of existence is change. Krishna explains in the Gita, that which is spiritual is sat. It has no cessation. That which is asat, material, has no endurance. The counterpoint of existence, eternal existence, is existence in flux. So we are eternal beings, and so is every spirit soul. They are sat. They're existing. But the problem is, in this material world, in Kali Yuga, we're existing in a very terrible condition. Passion and ignorance. And we're chasing material enjoyments because of our stupidity. And practically speaking, everyone in Kali Yuga is going to hell. Meat eating, illicit sex, everywhere, pornography. 5-year-old children are being taught sex education in school. They have little cartoons, and it's all right for Tommy to love Billy. They don't even know, because the Rakshasas know that if the sex drive can be freed from all restraints, the people will become degraded and easier to bloodsuck. This is what's going on. Deliberately. People say conspiracy theory. Well, there is a conspiracy. It's Kali. Kali. Knowingly and unknowingly, the foolish materialists are serving the ends of Kali. Know your enemy. Kali is active. Just in the same way, Krishna comes. Mahaprabhu comes, performs Leela to liberate everyone. In the same way, Kali is very active to degrade everyone. When you play chess, you may see the black side and you're the white knight or something. Now a fool just makes his own plan and pays no attention to the other side, correct? But a good chess player builds a good defense and waits for the mistake on the other side. He pays as much attention to his enemy as he does to his own strategy. So this is in the Isha Upanishad, number 7 or 8, Chavidyam Avidyam. That those who understand the action of the material energy, the illusory potency, and those that understand the nature of the spiritual world, those that understand material psychology, and those that understand spiritual psychology, only they can overcome the influence of the material energy and attain the blessings of immortality. So here, in this section of the Bhagavatam, we are being given a very wonderful contrast and elucidation between the material energy and the spiritual energy. between our friends and our enemy. Our enemy is Kali. And there is nothing to fear. We know where Kali lives. Lives in meat eating. Lives in intoxication. Lives in gambling. Now, what is all over the world? When I was a child, there was no such thing as government lottery. Now it's all over the world. Why do you think? Kali is active. Lottery. Government lottery. So who is making this lottery? The governments all over the world. Why? It's a way to suck the blood out, the money, the energy out. What is the other one? Intoxication, right? Everyone in Vrindavan is popping bhang and then going on parikram, right? Round Govardhan, thinking, oh, this will improve my bhajan. I won't feel the pebbles and I'll be dizzy in the head. That's bhava. Government bhang shop. Let's get married, take bhang, take some country liquor and make a fool of ourselves in front of loudspeakers that Jimi Hendrix would have been deafened by. Intoxication, the whole world. Alcohol, whiskey, it's all there. You can get it. Legalization. Spread. How did the British Crown become rich? How did the aristocrats in the UK build their big houses? By playing with the opium that they got from India. On the bank of the Benares, now all those warehouses are empty. They were all run by the Rakshasas, spreading opium all over the place, to China, to here and there. And then putting the money in the pocket, making it illegal as a means of being able to control people. They're the assistants of Kali. And then in Maharaj Parikshit's time, there was no thing like that. So where did Kali beg? In gold. What does gold mean? It means the financial system, where money is accumulated. Fractional reserve banking. If you study the actual system, it is a means of the rich to become richer and the poor to become poorer all over the world. Reserve banking, fractional reserve banking, debt-based money. It is sucking the energy, it is making people into wage slaves. Previously they had slaves, took people out of their country and made them grow sugarcane. Then some people became moralistic on the basis of the Bible. It's good. We can't have that. So then they made bonded labor. Take you from Kerala to work in Guyana. We'll charge you $500 for your ship ticket one way, and we'll pay you 10 cents a month. You'll be there for the rest of your life. Rakshasas. And then bonded labor. Oh, it's terrible, people. Now, tax people to death. Work your whole life and you can't even pay the mortgage on your house. You buy something and it breaks after 6 months, you have to buy another thing. The food is polluted, genetically modified. If you eat it, you become sick. In Maharashtra, I was reading that the farmers previously, after they picked the cotton, they would allow the buffalo and the goats to chew on the plant. So in Maharashtra, they continued like that. The BT cotton was useless. It gave a lesser yield. And when they put the buffalo and goats there, they chewed on the plants and they all died. And then the farmers, they're in debt. They commit suicide because that is a way to cancel the debt in India. If you die, the debt doesn't go to your family. Of course, the Rakshasas, they will change that law. So you must know your enemy, and you must observe your enemy. You're in a chess game. You must know what is going on in this material world. You mustn't think that these stories are cartoons. You mustn't think that Kali is just an idea. It's very good. It's very figurative. It's allegorical. No, this is going on. And you can see the Dham. When I came to Vrindavan, 73, you could go Dandavats Parikram. You could walk on the Braj Raj. Now if you do Dandavats Parikram, some fool in his motor car will kill you. And all you'll be left with is a ringing sound of his horn. You must understand that the holy Dham is under attack. I remember years back we did Nirjal. We went to the Jamuna and we drank. We went upstream, of course, from Kesi Ghat, about half a kilometer, and we drank 2 liters of water. No problem. Now the Jamuna, when I first came Vrindavan, the peacocks used to roost on the roofs. And at night, when you're going to bed, you would hear the Mayor, Mayor. You would hear the peacocks. This is the strategy of Kali. Just like when Krishna comes, the Devas come. So when Kali comes to assist, the Devas come to assist. So when Kali comes, the Rakshasas come and knowingly infiltrate. And there, of course, the unknowing dupes chasing money. What is it? What is pravritti marg, nivritti marg? What is pravritti marg? Dharma, artha, karma, moksha. It is for those that are materially involved, the karmis here. What do the karmis want? They want to work like a donkey, mudha, and then enjoy the fruits. But then, okay, the Vedas come forward and say, perform your duty according to your brahmakama swabhavajam. According to your qualities, you perform a certain dharma. Not according to your birth. Krishna says, janma karma, no. He says, guna karma vibhagasha. So how has that been perverted? It's now janma karma. Isn't it? According to your birth, you do your activity. Oh, I'm a Brahmin because I was born in a Brahmin family. And I watch my plasma TV and take bhang on the holy days. I'm a great Brahmin. No tapasya, no dana, no yajna. But I'm a Brahmin. No, guna karma, vibhagasha. So, everything is being attacked. You must understand that. And you have the duty to be the Vishnu Duta. You have the duty to fight. Bhagavad Gita was spoken on the battlefield. It wasn't Arjuna and Krishna weren't sitting on pink cushions. Bhagavad Gita was spoken on the battlefield. Krishna consciousness is not to come to Kartik, wave a candle and then go home to your plasma TV and go back to your cheating and cunning, and then you think you'll get Artha. No, you'll get Dharma Artha. Not cheating and cunning and hypocrisy will build me Artha. And this is being propagated, right? By being a liar and a thief and a cheat and having no morality, I'll get Artha. Then I'll have karma. To hell with moksha. No, you won't get moksha, of course. You'll get the Yamadutas. So, actually, that's very interesting. Hiranyakashipu, he was teaching his teacher, his son, Prahlad, Sunanda and Amarka, teaching Dharma, Artha, Kama. No, leave that fourth thing out. So nowadays it's the same thing, isn't it? Because of voidism, come to the slaughterhouse, the educational system. Did you ever consider why all over the world education is free? Medical is not free. Education is free. Come and learn to be a fool, a rascal, to think that by technology and juggling the exchange rate we'll become rich and you can be happy. Look, it happened to this lottery man. It happened, look at the Bollywood star. Yes, he's drinking Coke and eating meat. Look how strong and virile he is. Everywhere in the world, people are being put into the slaughterhouse education, told there is nothing after death. In the meantime, beg, borrow or steal, thieve, lie and cheat, get your money and be happy. Slaughterhouse education. But the result will be that you will not die, you will meet the Yamadutas. You will meet the Yamadutas and you'll be dragged before Yamaraj. The Yamadutas are the police force of Yamaraj. He is the governor of the jail, the warden. Oh, you did this, you did that. Chitragupta is there, recorded, Akashic record, all the activities. This is what you did. Now this is your choice. What you want? To a pig, a microbe, go to hell? Tell me what you deserve. You decide your own fate. We've showed you what you've done to yourself, to others. And what is the chance to escape this? To escape this judgment? It is to meet the Vishnu Dutas. So you're meant to be the Vishnu Dutas. Don't chase money by illegal means. Don't be a liar and a cheater. Don't take intoxication. Don't be a meat eater. Don't be a liar and a gambler. Don't chase illicit sex. Take a wife and be satisfied. Be faithful. Be noble. Don't be a weak man looking at the television, dragging your children there. Give them the Bhagavatam. Don't come to Kartik for wave a few candles and then go back to Delhi and think, now my son will get a good job. Now my business selling rubbish will be good. I'll be able to cheat the customers more powerfully because Krishna's on my side. No, be a man. Be like Arjuna. stand and fight. That's what Krishna told Arjuna. He didn't say be a wimp. Oh, it's too difficult. You can't change anything. Did Prabhupada sit in Vrindavan, in Radha Damodar, and think, I can't do anything about it? I'm just one man. I'm too old to get on the boat. He had a heart attack on the way. He arrived in America with 40 rupees and a box of books. He didn't even have cartels. But he had Krishna. Just like Arjuna, he had Krishna. So you want to have Krishna? Then you take this message. You take this vision of the material world. You take Sambandha Gyan, Abhideya Gyan, Prayojan Tattva. You learn it very perfectly. It will give you liberation. You learn that and you give it to everyone fearlessly. Like Arjuna did, like Krishna told, like Prabhupada did, like all the great acharyas. Because Kali has nothing, has no power. It has these areas. You don't do these things and you'll have no problem. Kali won't touch you. But know your enemy. Keep an eye on your enemy. Keep an eye on what's in your heart. Take shelter of the acharyas. Study these books. You will see your intelligence, your mind, your heart, your soul will become satisfied. You'll realize what is Maya. And by realizing what is Maya, you'll become detached from Maya through Sambandha Gyan that will placate anathas. What do we say at the beginning of the Bhagavatam class? Prabhupada Swami, what is that verse? Raja Tam. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, all that is inauspicious within the heart is practically destroyed to nil. Practically. You'll still have some residual effect. But then you should perfectly worship Radha Govinda. You should learn Abhideya Tattva. You should repose your loving propensity at the lotus feet of the devotees of Radha and Krishna, Gaunitai. Don't become a dry impersonalist. This is why people fall away. We want to love and be loved, but we're not reposing our loving propensity at the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, Gaunitai. So we're not getting any rasa. So if you come to Krishna consciousness for a year or two, oh, relief. Just like a man who's been eating poisonous food. When he stops eating the poisonous food, he feels relief. But his hunger will awaken. He has to get that rasa. So if you just give up material life, oh yes, regulative principles, go to Mangalarti, become staunch, but you don't repose your loving propensity at the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, if you don't understand Abhideya, if you don't know how to do the bhajan of Krishna, you'll not get rasa, and you'll just go back to the desert like the deer chasing the mirage in the distance. Looking, oh, there's a drop of water on that cactus. Never mind if that cactus is causing blood to flow from my tongue, just like the unkt, the camel. Chews the thorns and thinks, oh, it's tasty, but he's eating his own blood. That is the material world. And then at the time of death, You're cultivating passion and ignorance. The modes will force you to be sinful. You'll meet the Yamadutas. So before that happens, Astiheka Mahadgunan, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramvrajat. So we know Kirtan. This whole temple is for Kirtan and for distribution of knowledge of Krishna. Tattva, Siddhanta, Sambandha Gyan, Abhidaya Tattva, Prayojan. This is what this temple is made for. It is not a place to become a karmi, a prakrita bhakta. Oh, I come to Krishna and I will get some result. Let me push everyone aside. Look, Krishna, I've got a candle. Bang, bang, push, like a herd of animals. This is not what Prabhupada built this temple for. This Prabhupada built this temple for persons to study his books and to chant the holy name, Shravanam Kirtanam, and to give pleasure to the deities, Gaunitai, Radha Krishna, Krishna Balaram. This is the purpose. That is the distinction. Earlier, what is the distinction between Pravritti Marg, Nivritti Marg? Pravritti Marg, it means that. Nivritti Marg, I don't want anything from the material world. I'm not going to be a karmi. I'm not going to approach Krishna for some stool. I want rasa. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Bhada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam, Bhajuhure Mana, Sri Nanda Nandana. This is the purpose, to do the bhajan of Krishna, to become perfect, and then to give this knowledge to everyone. And then you'll meet the controller of Yamaraj, that is the Supreme Lord. You may actually meet Yamaraj, but you'll meet him in the form of Dharmaraj. Sometimes Dharmaraj, that is the other aspect of Yamaraj. You can read about this in the Garuda Purana, that the sinful people go into the west gate of his abode, and there Yamaraj is there, a huge figure. And the living entity looks at Yamaraj, and Chitragupta displays his activities. But sometimes Yamaraj, Dharmaraj, his other aspect, he wants to see the devotees, the liberated devotees, before they go to Vaikuntha. So the Vishnu Dutas come and they take him. They go through the east gate, and there they see Dharmaraj. Because Dharmaraj wants to see the Shuddha Bhakta. Oh, all day all the time I'm having to punish these living entities. Let me see a pure devotee, Sadhu Sangha. Let me get a glance from a pure devotee. This is Dharmaraj. So, who do you want to meet? Ajamil, he was saved. Why? Because he chanted just Narayan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Is that very difficult? No. You know that, right? You know this tattva. You know. Have a vision of this material world. It's Brahma, Bhuvana. It's just a place of suffering. Even in Brahmaloka. Imagine that. Just a place of suffering. Let that be your impetus. You may not have attraction to the spiritual world for the love of Krishna. You may not have that. So you may, what's my motivation? You understand. The Yamadutas, the messengers of death. You understand the Vishnu Dutas, the other side, the material energy and the spiritual energy. You understand that. Naturally you'll do the bhajan of Krishna. And we have a duty. All the 6 Goswamis, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, they were giving this knowledge. Nana Shastra Vicharanai Kanipano Saddharma. They looked in all the Shastras how we can give this knowledge in a format for Kali Yuga, so that people can meet the Vishnu Dutas and not the Yamadutas, so that they can meet Dharmaraj instead of Yamaraj. So we should feel that burden of duty. And of course, you're all great souls, you have this chance. But, Ucha, you must be enthusiastic. You must get fired up. You must develop Seva-bhav. If you have Seva-bhav, you can go to the transcendental side. If you want to do Seva to yourself, you'll stay under the purview of the Yamadutas and this. So here, the Yamadutas, almost in anger, Prabhupada says, I saw, they're asking Yamaraj, I thought you were the top dog. I thought you were the big judge. But now these amazing persons, these beautiful Vishnu Dutas, carrying the beauty of the Lord, they came. We were stunned. And they defeated us in argument, in potency. Why? Because Ajamil, free of offense, or practically free of offense, but in anxiety was chanting Narayan. What does Narayan mean? It means the shelter of all souls. So Krishna says, in the end of the Gita, he says, in all Matsita Sarvadurgani, in all activities, you just depend upon me and work always under my protection. Do not fear. But ignoring me, if you act through false ego, you will be lost. Yes. So don't think you're the doer. You're the instrument. This is what Krishna told. Look, they're already put to death by my arrangement. Kali is already defeated. But you, Arjuna, can be an instrument and take the credit. So, do you want a glorious life? Do you want to fulfill the order of the Supreme? Or do you want to be a fool on the side of the road? Do you want to be a reject who didn't do his duty? Krishna says to Arjuna, look, I've told you everything, Arjuna. Now you decide. You can decide. Now if you're imperfect in following Bhaidi Bhakti and sadhana, don't worry about it. Never give up. Be strong. Like the Kshatriyas. They take the blows on the front. They don't take scars on the back. The Kshatriyas, Arjuna, they will die with a sword in the chest, but they'll not die with a sword in the back. So no matter what happens, whatever difficulties you have, don't worry about it. Continue to fight, to be strong. And what are your weapons? Your weapons are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. You take shelter of these things. Shankaracharya, Bhaja Govindam. Actually, he was covered devotee, of course. Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu, Prashjanam Buddhamushite, covered impersonalism. What did Shankaracharya say? He said, you should do 3 things every day. 1, you should chant at least 1 name of Govinda. You should work yourself up to 1 lakh. You should chant 1 lakh nam. Don't stick on 16. 16 you can do in 1 hour and 3/4. What is that? You have 24 hours. But Shankaracharya says, just chant one name of Govinda. Then he says, you should read at least one line of Shastra every day. If you read one line of Shastra, if you can overcome Maya, because Maya will say, oh no, go to sleep. Talk Prajalpa. Don't go to the Bhagavatam class. Speak badly of others. It's good fun. No, you read one line of Shastra and then you read a second. Then you read a third. And then you'll be reading all day. Because it's nectar. Sandipani Muni gave that benediction to Krishna, of course. That's the Leela. Everything you say, Krishna, will be ever fresh. So if you can actually struggle to open your Kindle or your Shastra, if you can overcome Kali's in treatment, go to sleep, don't worry. If you can actually read one line of Shastra a day, you'll do 2. Then you'll do 3. And then the third thing, you should perform charity. Dana. What's that? Krishna says, Yagya Dharma Tapasa. Never give up these 3. They purify even the great souls. Yagya Dana Tapasa. Sacrifice. That means giving. Dana, giving. This is a giving movement, not a taking movement. And tapasya. Never give up tapasya. Chanting the holy name, rising early, following regulative principles, doing what you can. Be a man, be a lady, be noble, be righteous, be truthful. Don't take these sports stars offered by Kali. Don't take these film stars offered by Kali, these fools. Don't take them as your standard. Take Arjuna as your standard. Bhima, Yudhisthira Maharaj, Haridas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Sad Goswami, Rupa Raghunath. Take them as your standard. Meditate upon them. And you'll get Shakti from them. Don't be a loser. Be a victor. Be somebody your spiritual master can be proud of. There's nothing greater than that. We just had the Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada. What is the greatest compliment that you could say to Prabhupada to please him? Srila Prabhupada, you were the perfect disciple of your spiritual master. That would please him. Why did he go to America? Because his guru told him. Why did he preach in the foreign countries, translate all the books? Because his guru did it. The active principle of spiritual life is the order of the bona fide guru. If you want success, Prabhupada said, you cannot deviate 1 inch from the order of guru. That is the lifeline. And what is that order? Is it difficult? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani, Vedanam. And developing noble character. And if you can't understand anything, what you do? Chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Any question? I think we've gone over time. Sorry about that. But go ahead. I'll try and answer quickly.
I'll try to ask very quickly. Thank you for the very, powerful presentation. Two quick questions. One is the text says that the Yamaraj wanted to take Ajamil. Yamaraj wanted to punish him. So it seems, was even Yamaraj confused about Ajamil's position? explanation. The other question is, just a suggestion, maybe no discussion is necessary, but I had a slight epiphany, thinking that there's so many religions in the world, and they have like subsets of rules and regulations according to people's nature and different cultures. So perhaps that can be considered as, compare that with the subsidiary vassals and rulers, but they all have to be compatible with and submit themselves ultimately to Bhakti, to the emperor, to the supreme instruction of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. So that's what I have to say.
It's a good comment. A quick one too. Yeah. So, yes, who is the supreme ruler? The Yamadutas were saying, this is the question. It's very interesting. If you read it verse by verse, it's a very good discussion. Yes, there are many religious systems. In the beginning of Jaiva Dharma, this question is asked. Everyone should read Jaiva Dharma. Personally nominated by Srila Prabhupada as very important book. You can get here and make it a family heirloom. It's well printed. So, in the beginning of that book, Jaiva Dharma, which goes from the beginning to the topmost structure of bhakti, that question is asked. Why are there many different religions? Now the thing is, what does Jaiva Dharma mean? It means the Dharma, the nature of the living entity. So any system that directs the living entity somehow or other to the awakening of his spiritual nature, rather than his material conditioning, that is to be accepted. And those elements that do not help in that is to be rejected. So the Vedas, they are the ultimate statement. They are dharmam shakshad bhagavat pranihitam. They are non-different. They are the breathing of Hayagriva. They embody all the truth. They are the handbook, accurate, made by the Creator. Just like you have a mobile phone. Actually, phones are not mobile, nor are they smart. They're only as smart as the operator, and they're only as mobile as the mover. So, they have a manual, because they're very complex, right? Made by the maker. So the Creator has given the manual. That is the Vedas. The essence of the Vedas is the Srimad Bhagavatam. So ultimately everyone can approach the supreme ruler of Dharma, even through their upashastras, their man-made religions, their speculations. At least in some way they are directing themselves to a spiritual inquiry. But if somebody is progressive in knowledge, if somebody is actually sincere, then he's ready to go to the next stage. He's ready to go from one spot to the next. So ultimately, in Kali Yuga, what is the embodiment of all religious principles? The chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And you must, Maharaj, you must have personal experience that if people don't understand anything and they're attached to their culture and their cultural man-made religion, yes, Prabhupada would say, if you want to be a Muslim, be a good Muslim. If you want to be a Christian, be a good Christian. If you want to be a Buddhist, be a good Buddhist. But chant the name. In your religion you have a name, so chant it. That will purify. If you can't take to chanting Hare Krishna, then you chant the names in your religion. And by hook or by crook, if they can eventually come to this Maha Mantra, which is the embodiment of the Vedas, which is Shakshad Hari, non-different from the Supreme Lord, then they are very fortunate. So the devotees of the Lord, they know this. So they propagate it. Oh, you don't want it? Okay, we'll chant in the street. Right? And you'll have to hear it. Oh, it's catchy. I like that. I've been in, I remember in London, we go every Saturday night. We used to, well, I was there, every Saturday night downtown in the entertainment area. So in the 70s, the people would come out of the pub and they'd look at us. What are they doing? Huh? What are these funny people? Now they come out of the pub and they go, Hare Krishna! Because every Saturday they're hearing us chant. Huh? So this is Krishna. People at the beginning may be this and that, but the mantra will act. And I know personally, if you're just friendly to people and you somehow ask them to chant, they will return to you and say, what does it mean you're not the body? Huh? I remember my brother, he came to visit me once and I was explaining the philosophy. So he stayed overnight at the manor and we got him up for Mangalarti and we gave him some neem beads and he was chanting. And then after breakfast, he was asking me questions and he said, you know, yesterday I couldn't understand a thing you said, but now I can understand everything. And that was one Mangalarti. Right? Huh? So somehow or other, chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Those that chant know the magic of chanting Hare Krishna. Right? All right. Jai Mahaprabhu, Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Sri Guru Parampara, Krishna Balaram, Radhasham Sundar, Lalit Vishaka ki, Sadhu Sangha ki, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Yagya Sankirtana prayer ki jai. All right, thank you very much.